So very good afternoon to all of you. Let me, though there has been a brief introduction, first of all, to this August gathering, allow me the opportunity to welcome all of you to this discussion, which we hope to add a lot of value to the audience who've gathered from all across Chhattisgarh. So, I'll just begin with a small introduction. I am Amitav Ghosh, founder principal, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's R.K. Sada Vidya Mandir, Raipur. I have been in this institution when there was no institution. In fact, the first brick and the digging started after I came, and I've been since then. So 2009 we laid the foundation. 2010 the school started with 167 students, and today 2024 I stand before you after completing 15 years in this august institution. My fellow panelists, I have a distinguished panel of educators, finance specialists, tech persons, and entrepreneurs, who I am sure will add a lot of value to the discussion that we are going to have on the importance of financial literacy in schools. So may I just request the panelists to give a small introduction about themselves. So can we begin with CA Mr. Naval Devangan?
Good afternoon everyone. I am Naval Devangan. I am a chartered accountant 2005 batch. So it's been 19 years I have been practicing my CA. I worked with MNCs earlier with Big Fours, Deloitte and PricewaterhouseCoopers before I started my CA from here. And I also happen to be one of the co-promoters of Delhi Public School, Janjgir Chandra. So with that note, we are here to discuss the financial literacy, how it is important in a school environment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Devangan. Can we have Mr. Govind Mudalia? He is an edupreneur. So please, your introduction, please.
Good afternoon, audience. This is Govind Mudalia. I am the director of Empower Edupreneurs. As rightly said, Edupreneurs is a new word which combines education and enterprise together. And this is something which I have been doing last 14-15 years, established around 19 institutions in 4 states, MP, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Maharashtra. And there is a part of you, most of the teachers. Thank you very much for calling me here.
Thank you, Mr. Govind Mudalia. Over to Mrs. Ma'am Neeti Jain, please. Your introduction, please.
Okay. So, very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Neeti Jain, and I actually worked as a teacher for just 1 year, and that is where I really felt the need of teacher training. Somebody during the previous panel discussion was talking about teacher training. So, I am into teachers training for almost 15 years now. I must have trained more than 35 to 40,000 teachers pan-India, working with multiple schools, and as of now I'm working with Navneet's Top Tech as an implementation support head. I have a complete team of teacher trainers. We visit multiple schools pan-India and we are conducting these teacher trainings. Very, very happy to be a part of this entire crowd and really feeling like one of all of you all problems that we are discussing. And today's topic, really excited to discuss with all of you. Financial literacy, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for that nice introduction. Over to Neeta, Mrs. Neeta Awasthi, ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mrs. Neeta Awasthi, Principal, Disha College of Higher Secondary Studies, and I have been in this field since last 27 years and worked as the administrator and principal since last 7 to 8 years. Of course, the topic which was going to be discussed today on the dais, that is very important, and I do feel it will definitely add on few more experience as well as the knowledge level to the students and the students. Thank you.
So, after the wonderful round of introductions, let me just set the tone and let me tell you about the structure of the panel discussion that we're going to have. I'll be giving some basic background and then we'll pose a set of questions to the panelists to seek their views. So, on any particular set of questions, the panelists will express their views. And when one question is posed, all the panelists will take up the questions one by one. Then we come back to the second, the third, and the fourth. And after that, after we've had the panelists express their views, I will open up for questions from the audience. So let me set on that note, and with a highly accomplished panelist, an entrepreneur, a CA, a tech lady from tech, and an experienced educator, let me set the tone for the discussion. Now, in today's world, everything starts with data. So everybody is going crazy about data. So let me begin with some basic data and background on financial literacy. Now, according to the Global Financial Literacy Survey, which was conducted with the Standard & Poor's Global Financial Literacy Survey in 2015, it has been found that only 24% of the adult population in India is financially literate. That means that a whopping 76% of the adult population in India is financially illiterate. 2018, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development conducted something called a test on financial literacy, which was done through the Program for International Student Assessment. Now, surprisingly, India did not participate in that PISA test on financial literacy, but it was found, according to the PISA test conducted on financial literacy in 2018, it was found that on an average, the financial literacy of developing countries is much lower than the financial literacy of developed countries. So the inference could be drawn that India has a very poor financial literacy rate. Then we come to 2021, where a survey was conducted by the National Center for Financial Education. And this survey is very important for us because this survey was conducted for children between the age of 15 and 18-year-olds. So that means basically children of 10, 11 and class 12. And according to this survey, it was found that only 27% of the respondents were financially literate. That means among our school-going children of classes 10, 11 and 12, 73% of the children are financially illiterate. They do not know anything about finances. Then we had the NCRT. Then we had a survey which was conducted by the NCRT and a survey that was conducted by the CBSE in 2021. And this survey was conducted again among the science students of 11 12 and the science students and the commerce students of classes 11 and 12. And this survey specifically showed that the financial literacy of commerce students is marginally higher than the financial literacy of science students. Now, implication is commerce students are no better than science students when it comes to financial literacy. Now, with this background, let me pose the first question. And the first question is, when it comes to financial literacy, what exactly, and the question to the panelists is, when it comes to the financial literacy, what exactly do you understand by financial literacy? And what exactly do you understand? What is your
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful beginning and so many statistics, providing so many statistics, and it was definitely an eye-opening for all of us that India and many other underdeveloped countries are so very illiterate financially. There is a huge responsibility to all of us and the policymakers also. So let us begin with the definition of financial literacy. What do we mean by financial literacy? अगर मैं बहुत ही सरल भाषा में बोलूँ तो हमारे जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा थ्योरेटिकल में हम डिपेंड करते हैं और बच्चों को पैसे और पैसे की अहमियत ये चीज़ हम समझा नहीं पाते। एज पेरेंट्स भी अगर हम बोलें तो बच्चों को हम इतना ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन में रखते हैं कि उनको बहुत ज़्यादा तकलीफ ना आए, उनको बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स ना झेलना पड़े। हमने जो भी सर्कमस्टांसेस में अपने इस जीवन का व्यापन किया है, हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चों को वैसा ना झेलना पड़े। बट ऑन दी कॉन्ट्ररी ये बहुत उल्टा होना चाहिए और हमारा जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो भी ऐसा ही है, क्योंकि जो भी बच्चे वहाँ पर पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं वो तो रियल वर्ल्ड में कुछ काम ही नहीं आ रहा है। फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी में भी अगर बच्चे बहुत ही सरल भाषा में अगर पैसे को समझना और पैसे की अहमियत को समझना अगर ये सीख जाएं तो फिर फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी कंप्लीट हो जाता है। इससे मैं क्या मतलब है, मनी, फाइनेंस, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और वेल्थ, अगर हम ये सब चीज़ों को हम जोड़ करके देखें तो बच्चे आजकल लगातार देख रहे हैं कि पैसों के लेन देन को लेकर के, चाहे वो यूपीआई के माध्यम से हो, चाहे वो बैंकिंग के माध्यम से हो, बच्चे अपने माता पिता लोगों को बस देख रहे हैं कि हाँ ये सब ट्रांजेक्शन हो रहे हैं, लेकिन उसके पीछे की बैकग्राउंड उनको बिल्कुल भी नहीं पता। और अगर फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी को बहुत आसान शब्दों में समझना है तो मैं बोलूँगा रिच डैड पुअर डैड से बेहतर कोई बुक नहीं होगा अभी तक बना हुआ जो इतने आसान शब्दों में हमको समझा पाए कि पैसा, मनी, व्हाट इज मनी, व्हाट इज वेल्थ, व्हाट इज एसेट, व्हाट इज लायबिलिटी। हम जैसे ही थोड़ा सा पैसा कमाना चालू करते हैं या पैसे आते हैं तो हम सबसे पहले सोचते हैं कि हम एक आईफोन खरीद लेते हैं और वो सोचते हैं कि वो एक हमारे लिए एसेट है, जबकि बच्चों को भी ये समझ नहीं है कि वो एसेट नहीं, वो उल्टा लायबिलिटी है, क्योंकि बहुत ही हाईली डिप्रिशिएटिंग एसेट्स हैं। तो ये सब चीज़ें हम जो आगे डिस्कस करेंगे, तो फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी लिटरली मीन्स द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ मनी एंड वेल्थ एंड हाउ डू वी डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन दीज टू।
Wonderful, sir. I think we can come to a one-liner on this. What sir says, what C. Devakan is basically saying is, when it comes to financial literacy is understanding the value of money. Over to you, sir. Govind sir.
I think I totally agree because for one reason he's a chartered accountant. So I'll narrate a small story. In fact, around 5-6 years back, I was sitting in my drawing room and my child came और कुछ पैसे की ज़रूरत हुई तो मुझे लगा कि अभी पैसा नहीं है, I'll share this money later on. मैंने अपनी बेटी को कहा कि ये थोड़ी देर बाद मैं दे देता हूँ। बोले पैसा, तो immediately the child said, आप जाइए ATM से लेके आइए। I mean, ATM is something which a child knows that it is something related with money and finance, but the child do not know where that money is being sourced from, how that money comes, how to manage that money. ये जो चीज़ें हैं जो लाइफ स्किल्स के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। अभी थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने मैडम इसी हेड को मैं सुन रहा था तो 68 कॉम्पिटेंसीज के बारे में बताया। वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट कॉम्पिटेंसी इज नोइंग मनी एंड नोइंग हाउ टू मैनेज इट इफेक्टिवली is something very, very important. And since it is connected, it is directly proportional to the wellness of an individual, I think knowing money and understanding money is very, very important. Second is we all spend money and we earn money. But we need to create a balance as to how can we save money. India is basically a saving economy all through this years. Recently, of course, we moved from saving economy to the consumption economy. That's a different thing. But by and large, इंडियन से बेहतर समझ पैसे की किसी और को होगी नहीं, क्योंकि हमने सारे फेजेस ऑफ डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमी को देखा है. एंड वी डू नॉट कंसीडर नाउ एज एन अंडर डेवलप्ड इकोनॉमी एनीमोर. We are going to be the third largest economic country very soon. So the need of financial literacy is very, very important right from the child, right from word go at nursery level. This is what I feel. Over to you.
So thank you, Mr. Govind. So I think, according to Mr. Govind, money is a lot about children don't understand the value of money, so they need to basically understand more of the value of money. According to children, money is ATM, anytime money. So he stresses on the fact that children need to understand where the money comes from. So financial literacy is not only the value of money, we also have a second perspective that financial literacy is also about knowing how the money comes. Over to you. And we have.
So, thank you so much. I think both the dignitaries have almost covered what exactly financial literacy is. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि स्कूल्स में मतलब बहुत छोटे से हम लोग बच्चों से पूछते हैं व्हाट डू यू वांट टू बिकम व्हेन यू ग्रो अप, राइट? एवरीवन आई गेस घर में स्कूल में वी हैव दिस कॉमन क्वेश्चन, व्हाट डू यू वांट टू बिकम? व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन? It's not only for academics, right? It's for the financial independence as well. We want our kids to be financially independent when they grow, right? So हम चाहते हैं कि वो financially independent बने, but बचपन से we are not telling them what exactly from money comes, what exactly is saving, what exactly is budgeting, right? ये बहुत छोटे-छोटे से terms हैं. Maximum what I have seen in Indian household is किसी भी रिश्तेदार ने गिफ्ट दिया, बर्थडे में कुछ गिफ्ट मिला, पिगी बैंक में डाल देने का. सेविंग इज समथिंग वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू समहाउ, बट आफ्टर दैट व्हाट इज बजटिंग? दैट शुड आल्सो बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी फ्रॉम द वेरी चाइल्डहुड इज व्हाट आई फील. सो सेविंग, बजटिंग, इन्वेस्टिंग, ऑल दीज स्मॉल टर्म्स, if we inculcate these things from the very childhood in the students, हमारे छोटे-छोटे बच्चों को अगर ये सब हम सिखा सकें, that is what is financial literacy.
Wonderful, ma'am. That brings us to the third aspect, that is saving, budgeting. So, ma'am is basically talking about money in terms of not only value for money or where money comes from, but also the fact that financial literacy is also about saving and budgeting. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. As our panelists have already discussed about the importance of literacy in management, managing the amount money, I would like to add on one more, it's my perspective, because as sir has told, when the data which sir has shared, science students, they know about the money, but financial literacy, how to invest the money, how can they save their future, that was not clear to them. They know how to earn, but the basic thing is, after earning, how we manage the amount for the future reference, for the stability of the future, that we can give them the knowledge after adding some financial literacy topics or chapters in the economics from beginning means from 9th onwards, because I have seen the curriculum, I have seen the NCERT syllabus of economics, and there they have very small part of banking and all, but there they know about the terminology, but they don't understand the meaning of money saving, the meaning of planning for the future. And even if we ask about the schemes which are now our जो हमारी गवर्नमेंट है वो जो चला रही है, तो even many they don't know the benefit of those schemes also, and some they don't know कि what scheme is fruitful for them and how they invest the money to get a big return in future. So for all such things, I personally feel they should include in our curriculum from 9th standard science stream or humanities or other streams will also be benefited. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful, ma'am. So that brings us to the fourth perspective of investing. So we have one panelist saying that it's value for money. Second panelist, how money comes. Financial literacy is a critical skill that needs to be taught in schools. So what is the imperative of teaching, if I may put the question in another manner, what is the imperative of teaching financial literacy in schools? Why is it a critical skill to be taught in school, and how does it help to make the world a better place? So this time we'll start with Mrs. Awasthi. We'll give her the advantage.
Thank you, sir. Sir, if we start financial literacy from the school itself, I personally feel because our grandparents and many students, their parents are also not that much literate. So I personally feel that if child will understand and they know about the future saving, their profits and loss and everything, if it is clear from their childhood, so they may guide their parents also for the better future. So according to me, that should start from the 6th class onwards or 7th class onwards, so that they can literate their parents also.
Wonderful. So you consider that financial literacy is a critical skill, number one?
Yes.
And why is it important? So you said that it should be started from class 6 onwards, so that they get the basic ingredients, they get the basic ideas of how to manage finances and the different aspects of finances. Can I take that answer?
Yes. Sir, recently we all have faced Corona. And after Corona, being a principal, I have seen many families that destroyed their financial conditions, they are no more. So all these जो भी एक महामारी जो आई थी, इसने हमें एक बहुत बड़ी सीख देकर दिया कि we have to keep our money safe for all these things also. So if our children are also literate, so I think next जब कभी भी इस तरीके की कोई कंडीशन अराइज होगी, so they will manage with their funds in a better way.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, please.
Thank you so much. I would like to elaborate a little here. So, if at all we are able to teach this skill, which is highly critical in nature, according to me, if we are able to teach it from the very childhood, when they actually start earning, they have a judicious capacity to decide what to buy and what not to buy. They need to understand the basic difference between need and want, is what I feel, right? अभी जैसे ही बच्चा अर्न करना स्टार्ट करता है, मे बी आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन और पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन, द फर्स्ट थिंग जो भी सर ने भी कोट किया था, लाइबिलिटी और एसेट, व्हाट आई एम क्रिएटिंग. The child is not interested immediately in investing in a house or in a property, but they want to buy the latest bike, they want to buy the latest phone, which is a dead investment, right? I mean, it's not an investment at all. इसको मैं investment बोल ही नहीं सकती हूँ, क्योंकि अगर मैं 5 लाख रुपए एक बाइक को खरीदने में खर्च करती हूँ, आफ्टर 2 years उस बाइक की क्या कीमत रह जाती है मेरे? Nothing, right? एक 5 लाख रुपए की बाइक शायद 2 लाख 2.5 lakh after 2. But at the same time, if I would have invested, अगर मेरे अंदर ये critical skill है, अगर मेरे students के अंदर ये critical skill है, तो वो जब वो earn करना start करते हैं, they should know कि मेरी ज़रूरतें क्या है, मुझे कहाँ invest करना है. So ये जो एक बहुत common phrase है, need versus want, right? Want तो कहीं end होती ही नहीं है, right? कहीं कोई end नहीं है want का. तो हम दुनिया में सब कुछ चाहते हैं, लेकिन are we making our students intelligent enough to decide कि मुझे कहाँ खर्च करना है? If I am earning 10,000 today, मुझे कितना कहाँ invest करना है? क्या मेरी saving होनी चाहिए? कहाँ investment होनी चाहिए? Market, share market, mutual funds. There are hundreds of things where if a 18-year-old or a 20-year-old अगर 18-20 साल के बच्चे आज से इन्वेस्ट करना शुरू करेंगे आफ्टर एट द एज ऑफ 30-35 they will have really good investments, they will have really good amount in their hands, which is not happening. जैसे ही बच्चे अर्न करना शुरू करते हैं, पेरेंट्स आर ऑल्सो लाइक कि चलो ठीक है अभी तो शुरुआत है, और जब वो 30+ हो जाते हैं when they feel कि मेरे पास कोई बचा ही नहीं है, मैंने कुछ सेविंग नहीं किया. So this is where it needs to be inculcated from the very childhood. और अगर ये हम स्कूल लाइफ से बच्चों को सिखा सकें, मैं बिल्कुल भी I'm not favoring that you should 100% save only, right? We should have our life as well, but that justification, that intelligence to decide कि कितना % मुझे सेव करना है, कितना % मुझे खर्च कर देना चाहिए, किन चीज़ों पे खर्च कर देना चाहिए, that is very important. और वो आप बचपन में ही सिखा सकते हैं, बड़े होने के बाद तो it's next to impossible. नहीं हो सकता. That's all.
Thank you. So I think ma'am has brought out a very interesting fact, the need to distinguish between needs and wants. And I think being an economics teacher myself, I would vouch for that. So financial literacy is a critical skill because it teaches children to distinguish between needs and wants. That's number one. And number two thing that I can take from your views is it also helps improve decision making in finances when the child grows. So on that note, can we have Mr. Govind have his views, sir?
Yeah, let us consider a situation. Like, what if this is not a critical skill? What if this is not a critical skill? What will be the outcome? The data which you have said, sir, just now, in next 10 years, it will be further come down to maybe 10% or 20%. I mean, like right now we are talking about like 24% people know about, the money or the financial literacy. Suppose if it is not done, if we do not enter into this domain at this point of time, अगर अभी हम जागे नहीं, तो 10 साल बाद people will be again sitting here and turning out what would be the this percentage will come down to maybe 15 or 20%. So high time that this should be considered as a critical skill, knowing and understanding money, valuing them, and budgeting, understanding the individual requirement. What Madam has really said, distinguishing between need and want. There's a lot of confusion, between need and want. I am exposed to a lot of teachers' recruitment, and many times when I ask economic teachers what is the difference between need and want, and it creates a kind of flaw in our mind that if a teacher really doesn't have that understanding, it is not that everybody do not have that skill, but knowing those skills and transforming in the teacher's student's life is very important. This is very critical skill according to me. And I always talk about well-being, wellness. Money forms an important ingredient for the wellness of an individual, right? So if we understand money in its correct perspective and use it and save it, like there are formulas like 50-30-20 and 90-10-10. These are the formulas. You can just have to Google up. You'll find all these formulas. If the child knows it right from the word go, the overall economic situation of the country will develop. This is my perspective, micro as well as macro.
Thank you so much, sir. That I think is very interesting because sir was talking of again the distinction between needs and wants and the necessity that financial literacy is a critical skill because to make children more aware of how money comes, what is the effort required to bring money and how do you spend the money. So that subtle distinction between need and want. And I add another perspective here. It's a very famous saying of Gandhiji, which says that the world has provided enough for everybody's need, but not for everybody's greed. I think it is very important to
स्किल्स की वजह से अपने अच्छी खासी जॉब कर लेते हैं, लेकिन फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी नहीं होने की वजह से वो आगे लंबा सस्टेन नहीं कर पाते। जैसे मैम ने भी कहा कि सेविंग्स बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस हैं आजकल, तो बहुत सारे क्रिकेटर्स एडवर्टीजमेंट करते रहते हैं म्यूचुअल फंड सही है, वो एक ऑप्शन है म्यूचुअल फंड्स। ज़मीन खरीदना एक ऑप्शन है, हम उसको उनका निधन होने की वजह से बच्चों के लिए तकलीफ आ गई। टर्म इंश्योरेंस जो कि 10,000 20,000 रुपये साल का लगता है, वो तक भी हमको नहीं सिखाया गया है हमारे स्कूल के माध्यम से कि ये भी कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है। मैं जब बड़े बिजनेसमैनों की बात करता हूँ जिनका एक साधारण बिजनेसमैन 10, 15, 20, 25, 50 करोड़ का टर्नओवर आजकल कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, और आप उनको बहुत अचंभा होगा ये जान करके कि जो 50-100 करोड़ के भी टर्नओवर कर रहे हैं, उनकी फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी, उनको अपना धंधा करना आता है, उनको अपना बिजनेस करना आता है, लेकिन फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी आज भी जीरो है। भगवान ना करे अगर कल को कुछ ज़मीन हिली, वो सबसे पहले हिलेंगे। सैलरीड एम्प्लॉय को तो कोई दूसरा बिजनेस मिल भी जाएगा, बिजनेसमैन को तो वो भी नहीं आता, तो दूसरा बिजनेस खड़ा करना आसान नहीं है। तो सर इसीलिए ये सब मेरे प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस के साथ मैं बोलूँगा कि क्यों फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी बचपन से ही हमको सिखाना चाहिए। जितना इम्पोर्टेंट बाकी स्किल्स है, अच्छा डॉक्टर बनना, अच्छा इंजीनियर बनना, अच्छा फैशन डिजाइनर बनना, अच्छा, उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी है।
wonderful. I think there's something else to it. I'll add a small statement here. There's a difference between being literate and being educated, and that needs to be very clearly defined. And you are educated at home, but you become literate when you come to school. So literacy is defined as something when you actually are able to write your name and sign. That is how the government defines literacy. Now literacy doesn't necessarily mean education, and perhaps that is the reason, we have this difference of opinion between the service class and the business class. So that, let me get into the third question. We are already running. I believe you have to make your speeches your views little short. Let me ask you that, what are the challenges? What are the challenges that the schools face when it comes to implementing a curriculum in financial literacy? Now, there is a curriculum in financial literacy, all of us are aware. Now, what are the challenges that schools face when implementing this curriculum? So, ma'am, can we start with you, Anita?
Sir, first of all, we have to हमको ये बताना पड़ेगा कि फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है, बिकॉज वंस वी एड ऑन एज अ सब्जेक्ट, तो बच्चों को तो ये बर्डन ही लगेगा कि एक सब्जेक्ट और आ गया, फिर से हमारे इसमें वैल्यूएशन होगा, फिर से हमारे को इसमें टेस्ट में मार्क्स मिलेंगे। बट वी शुड इनकलकेट द हैबिट, मतलब इफ यू वांट टू इनकलकेट द हैबिट ऑफ सेविंग, इफ यू वांट टू इनकलकेट द हैबिट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन, हमको फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इनमें अवेयरनेस लानी पड़ेगी कि ये क्यों जरूरी है। जैसे वो संस्कृत बहुत बोर होकर पढ़ते हैं, 6 to 8 वो पढ़ते हैं, उसके बाद संस्कृत छूट जाती है, बट इसकी जरूरत क्यों है? अपार्ट ऑफ दैट अदर सब्जेक्ट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बट दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर फ्यूचर। आप डॉक्टर बने, इंजीनियर बने, आप फार्मर बने, लेकिन मनी हर जगह काम आने का।
So what are the challenges, ma'am? Let's go to that stage.
Challenges
To implementing the curriculum. That's what is my question. Let's speak of the challenges.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, we'll come back to you later. Now, please.
I believe the first important 2 challenges I would like to put here. One is curriculum. So schools, students, teachers are already overburdened. What ma'am just started.
The curriculum
Yes, because there are a lot of subjects, one more subject to be taught. Right, that is one challenge. Second important challenge, being a teacher trainer, I see the teachers are not well equipped. Teachers are not trained that how to take up this, because it's not another subject to be taught, but it has to be practically implemented. So teacher training, teachers have to be well equipped, that's one, and then curriculum has to be existing.
So teachers, the overload of the curriculum and the training of teachers, these are the major 2 challenges that we are able to identify in terms of implementing the curriculum of financial literacy. Ma'am, you want to say something?
Less of awareness of finance, so that their interest has to be developed.
Correct. Alright. Sir, can we have your views? Challenges to implementing financial literacy in in schools?
Yes, so sorry. First of all, we should understand, how it has to be implemented. The biggest challenge is mindset. Biggest challenge is mindset. As a, school owners, as a principal, as a teacher, we should understand the importance of, money management or financial literacy in the school. First, we should accept, yes, there exists a problem. And then how to resolve it over a period. We cannot solve it over a period of, in 1 year or 2 years.
This mindset is the major issue.
Very, very important. Second, sir, according to me, Madam has already said about it, teachers training, preparing teachers, transiting from that mindset that everybody knows about money and not implementing it in practical ways is something which we need to address. This is very, very important according to me. दूसरा अगर हम इसको syllabus बना देंगे, if we bring it as a subject, somebody said that it will be a burden. So let us not make it as a burdenful kind of a thing. Let us bring in lot of, playway methods, games, interactions. Let us not create it as a taboo. If it is not considered as a taboo, I think children will, accept it in a more better manner. This is my understanding.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, your turn.
सर नंबर 1 चैलेंज इज माइंडसेट क्योंकि स्कूल पेरेंट्स इसलिए भेजते हैं क्योंकि मेरा बच्चा अच्छा मैथ्स पढ़ना सीख जाए, साइंस पढ़ना सीख जाए। उसको लगता है कि फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी क्यों सीखे। और उससे भी बड़ी गलती सर जो हमारे पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं वो कर रहे हैं। कल शाम को मैं ऑफिस बैठ करके इसकी मैं तैयारी कर रहा था कि मैं चलो सीबीएसई की वेबसाइट पर जा करके मैं फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी के सिलेबस को देखूँ। फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी का सिलेबस क्लास 5 से लेकर के क्लास 12 तक पूरा का पूरा बुक उन्होंने छाप दिया है। सिर्फ 5वीं के बच्चे को 50 पेज का आप फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी के ऊपर बुक पढ़ाएंगे जिसमें वो बैंकिंग और चेक और इतना दूसरा बात बोला कि प्ले पे मेथड। सर चैलेंज सबसे बड़ा दिक्कत ये है कि भाई बच्चा ऑलरेडी 5 सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहा है, उसमें फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी पढ़ेगा और वो भी 50 पेज का बुक 5वीं का बच्चा। करिकुलम सर इसको आप इतना थ्योरेटिकल पढ़ाएंगे कोई भी बच्चा कुछ नहीं सीखेगा और वो जिंदगी में काम आने वाला तो कोई काम सीख नहीं सकता। Mindset and second, sir, policy makers should realize that this has to be. There is another way of teaching financial literacy, not the syllabus and book and chalk.
Can you specify any way?
सर ने जैसे बोला कि जब हम फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी की बात कर रहे हैं तो मानिए कि हम बैंकिंग ऑपरेशन से पढ़ रहे हैं, चाहे चेक मेथड से हो चाहे वो यूपीआई आजकल कर रहे हैं। अब प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड अगर हम कुछ प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड बच्चों को एक्टिविटी दें, बैंकिंग विजिट कराएं और बैंकर्स को बुला करके यहाँ पर हम कुछ पढ़ाएं तो सर वो 50 पेज का शायद तक 10 पेज कर देना चाहिए सिलेबस डिफाइन करके और थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट करना पड़ेगा सर उस तरीके से बच्चों को।
Fine. So I think that's another, mostly it's curriculum load, it is lack of training of teachers, it is awareness of teachers and maybe, introducing some playway methods so that it becomes more playful. Now we come to the last question. So from a policy perspective, what do you think the government must do to improve?
Equal importance should be given to financial literacy as it is given to other subjects. The data and the statistics itself speaks for that. कि why developed economy का financial literacy is so very better as compared to the developing economy. तो I think so sir कि mindset change होना चाहिए and equal importance should be given to financial literacy. It is definitely not a subject which needs to be taught in the classroom. It is a basic skill, life skill which has to be there throughout life for the child. तो sir ये importance है।
Wonderful. Sir, next.
I think many a times, we wait government to act. I think we should take initiative, schools should take initiative. Of course, there should be governing body and all kind of thing. But according to me, if we take this initiative as a revolution, because it's very, very important, right? So if you take it as a revolution and, if the government take it as a revolution and create an awareness among the people, all the stakeholders, I think the job is done. And I think the attention of government is already there. The policymakers know that it is required, it is important. If one citizen is not literate, it will not serve the purpose of the country, the GDP, and because it directly contributes to the GDP of the nation.
Creating awareness.
And creating awareness is very, very important. Government, if, 10 years back, we were not like Swachh Bharat would be a mission. And today, Swachh Bharat is a mission. Government has put in lot of effort in that arena. Similarly, such kind of, are more sufficient.
100% activity-based learning. No exams, written exam marks and grades. 100% activity-based. And then schools should plan certain mini guest lectures, etc. That is something CPD should have this. So teachers should be
professional development of teachers. So activity-based and professional development of. So in addition to the curriculum that is circulating, there should be also some activities that are proposed to inculcate the concept of financial literacy. That's what you said.
That's what.
Anything else you want to add?
To inculcate to introduce this financial literacy, I must say, learn by doing. That is more important. Instead of keeping it as a subject, if we plan some projects and we will give them the assignments and they will work on that project, and from their feedback, we will tell them if you would have done this, that will be more beneficial, that will be more benefited to you. So I think they will learn more than doing instead of reading.
Wonderful. So I think I've overshot my time already. I'll just sum up and I'll add some perspectives to what the respective panelists have said. In terms of financial literacy, I think one of the most important ways to inculcate financial literacy in children is to take the children starts from home. Every education I said starts from home. So parents need to take their children to market, to mandi when they go for purchasing vegetables, rather than taking them to malls. See, malls are a way of spending money. When you go to market, again, need and want. So when you go to market, you actually, if you ask a child today that how much, say 1 kg of potatoes cost 50 rupees, so what will 100 grams cost? The guy will fumble. So if that literacy could be inculcated by the parents. Now, as a school, it is not always possible to take kids to markets. There are safety concerns, there are 101 issues that will come up. So instead of that, if it could be started, every education starts from home. If it could be started from home, I think a lot of financial literacy could be inculcated right from the early stages in the child. When it comes to curriculum, yes, there is a curriculum, but very often, as like every curriculum, the curriculum is as boring and it becomes an overload for the teachers. Secondly, when there is no progression in the curriculum, when there is no progression, what next after financial literacy, it will also become another boring thing and children will lose interest. So I think on that note, thank you panelists, and it's been a wonderful interaction with all of you. I think, thank you audience, you've been a wonderful audience, though my apologies that I could not give you the opportunity to ask questions. And thank you so much, it was a pleasure being here, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for conducting the session wonderfully. So moving ahead, I would request all our panelists to please be on stage, and it's time for once again. We would like to thank you all for joining us here today. First, thank you so much, sir, for conducting this session very wonderfully. I would also like to invite Dr. Rita Sonam ma'am to please join us, and I would request you, ma'am, to please present the momentum to Mr. Govind Mudliyar, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Please take your seat back. Up next, I will be requesting Dr. Rita Sonam ma'am to please join us, and I will request you, ma'am, to please present the momentum to Mr. Govind Mudliyar, sir. Up next, I will be requesting Mona Gupta ma'am from Raipur to please join us. We have her. And ma'am, I would request you to please present the momentum to Mrs. Nita Avasti, President Congress. Thank you so much, Rita ma'am, for joining us. Up next, I would like to invite Mona Gupta ma'am. I would request you, ma'am, to please present the memento to Mr. Nita Awasthi. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us here today. Up next, I would be requesting Mr. Lekha to please join us. Can we have him? Mr. Lekha to please join us. We also welcome Mr. Srinivasan among us. He's our Bhubaneswar. We welcome you, sir. बहुत स्वागत करते हैं आपको to our Blue Air Expo. Moving ahead, Scott बढ़ाते हुए Mr. Lekha, can we have him, please? I would be requesting Rahul sir to please join us and please present the memento to Mr. Naval Divangan sir. Thanks so much, sir, for joining us here today. Up next, I would be requesting Mr. Manoj Chandrakar, sir, to please join us, and I would request you, sir, to please present the memento to Ms. Nidhi Jain. Can we have Mr. Manoj Chandrakar? Please, sir, I would request you to please join us. Also, I would be requesting you, sir, to please felicitate and please present the memento to Ms. Nidhi Jain. She was present here as a panelist once again. Thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am, for joining us here today and for your wonderful insights once again. Thank you. So up next, it's time for a group picture. I would request you all to please join us for in the forward. आप सभी लोग से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगी ग्रुप फोटो की बारे में प्लीज.